Hey everybody, thank you for joining me here on Let's Talk Weather. I'm meteorologist Rob Wilson here with your early week forecast. This one shouldn't take too long because, much like I talked about last segment, we've got high pressure moving in, and we talked about the big bubble, no trouble thing. I drew the lines in there about how high pressure was going to protect us, and sure enough, that is really taking shape. Woke up this morning and beautiful sunshine. You can see it actually on the doors behind me. It is gorgeous out here after kind of a not so great weekend, cool, cloudy, had a little bit of rain on Saturday, windy. But all in all, things definitely could have been worse. We didn't get snow like they had in areas up north. I even know in western and upstate New York, they had snow. I can even show you a little bit of snow still occurring in some places in the northeast. Right now, we'll get to that in the radar here in just a minute. But really, this is a good news forecast. Not a lot of bad news until later on in the week, and I don't even want to qualify it as bad. We'll call it lessens the greatness of our weather over the next 2 to 3 days. So we'll take it for what it's worth. All right, that's it in a nutshell. Let me squeeze myself out of the way. Like I said, there's not a lot of really thing bad to talk about, but we will talk about what is happening on the current satellite loop. Over here in the northeast, the low continues to spin around that we have seen for the last few days. That's what caused us our clouds and our rain over the weekend. Let's go ahead and draw that up here. Let's see, let's pop it right about in there. Ooh, make that thicker, Rob, so everybody can actually see it. There we go. How about we go like this? There's our low pressure center there. I've got low pressure out here to the west as well. A little bit hard to find, but it is stuck in this mid-level flow. Here we go. We've got it right about in here, moving through the Salt Lake City area. And as I get to my high pressure, this is the important one. It is right about here. Okay. Pay attention to that, because what's going to happen is that low, or excuse me, that high is going to just slide, kind of like we had a week or two ago. It's going to slide down like this and park itself just off the East Coast. And what that is going to do is going to create very, very fair weather for us because it is going to generate a kind of a zone of non-activity for us. And you can already see it taking shape here as the clouds go up and around the high pressure like this. Okay? So as that high moves down in here, it will continue to create this zone of non-activity, and that is good news for us for today, Monday, Tuesday, and probably at least half of Wednesday. It'll start to break down a bit. Wednesday going into Thursday. That doesn't mean we're expecting rain right away, but do expect clouds to push into like this, what you're seeing out here. Some of these clouds out here will start to slide their way into the region, but it'll take a little bit longer for the rain to be able to make its way into the ridging as a high slowly makes its way off the East Coast. So for now, don't expect a whole lot of anything. I mean, really and truly, we're going to kind of just stick in this big zone of quiet weather. Yeah, that's the good news. I told you it was good stuff. All right, let's make our way to the radar here. Let me pop that off of here. As we make our way to the radar, what you'll see is that conditions continue to look good for us here in the area of high pressure. All right, I told you I'd show you a little bit of something. Look at that. It's actually not that far away, but dropping down into northeastern Pennsylvania and southeastern New York, rain with a little bit of slush mixed in as the cold air wraps in around that low pressure I drew for you here just a couple of minutes ago. All right, so the high pressure is very, very clear. It is obvious where it is. You can see it right about where nothing is going on. Still here. Everything going up, being forced up and around the high pressure. You can see the motion of the clouds and the rain going up and over the ridging. So that is protection. It is like a big brother there to keep all the bad things away. And then we've got that high pressure in place for a while. We do have some activity out here to the west. Again, not an issue for us right away, but eventually we'll start picking up some of the activity out here, but for now, expect all of this to be forced up and over the ridgeline and miss us at least for another, I'll call it a good 3 days. Well, the model will show us here in just a minute. I'm actually going to show you national modeling because there's so little going on here. I want you to kind of get a bigger picture of what is happening all around us. So for all of us, from Chicago through Pittsburgh to D.C. down to Raleigh, and eventually, those of you who may be watching here in New York and in the Northeast, that low will kick out as a high slide. It'll push it off the East Coast, so even you're going to be under the high pressure. And the good news that comes with high pressure here, it won't take too long for that to happen. Okay, let's move on to the modeling here. And let me drop that back. I was preparing this. Let's see. Let's start at, we'll go with 12Z on Monday, which was 8 o'clock this morning. It's actually a couple of hours ago. But you can see our high pressure is clearly indicated right here. I don't even have to draw it because it's on here for you. All right, 1029. It will kick that low out to the east. Now watch. You can see these lines. These are called isobars. Okay, it's a weather term. It's a line of constant pressure. So anywhere where you see 1026, that line tells you that's where they have 1026. All right, and then you can see 1024. It's a bar or a pressure that is equivalent to 1024, and it runs around that line. So it just shows you where our centers of high pressures and how we transition from high pressure to low pressure. Okay, that's what the lines are helping us determine. Let's go ahead and move this forward in time and watch as the high eventually, as I mentioned, starts sliding to the east. You can see it's actually building up. I don't think where this low is here that's actually accurate. The actual high of the low pressure is here because you can see the 1026. See the 1026, but they have the high registered as 1028. The actual high is down in here, okay? But again, the computer's doing this, not me, but that just tells you that's why you have real people doing this for you, and don't just rely 100% on computers. You got to be able to analyze this stuff. But the high is sliding off the East Coast, and you will see this area here, the ridging is still in place. A couple things I would say is that most likely where you're seeing your isobars a little bit thickly packed, and that's going to be this area right in through here. See these, how tight these isobars here? That's usually an indication of stronger winds. All right, when you have a change in pressure that happens rapidly over distance, that tends to mean that air is going to move faster in those areas. So look for stronger winds to be located in these zones, say Illinois, Missouri, up into Michigan and Wisconsin. If you happen to be viewing from those areas, expect the winds to pick up as we make our way through this week. All right. Let's push this forward again. I got to get that out of the way. What you will see is the high pressure. There it is. See, now it's finally in the right position. I'm going to run this all the way to the end because notice, other than, let me go back a couple frames here, other than a little chance of rain here along the northern Pennsylvania, like Erie, up through Ripley, up through Buffalo, and you can see Watertown, New York, right up in here. Little bit of rain right on the edge of the ridging. Other than that, if you're south of that, high pressure continues to protect us from anything. There is nothing going on. And might I add, because of the direction of your flow around that high pressure, remember it's clockwise rotation around high pressure in the northern hemisphere at least, as long as you have this high right down in here, you are going to see southwesterly winds, which is a warm flow for us. Okay? That means our temperatures climb quickly. And it's actually going up here on Monday, but we're going to reach highs somewhere around 80 degrees, 75 to 80 degrees over the next few days. And even once the high does back up enough that we start to see maybe a shower or two, that is not going to impact temperatures too much because we still remain in a southwesterly flow. Okay, so I'll continue to pull up warm air from out of the Gulf of Mexico down in here and just run it right up into us here like that. So keep your eyes on that as I'll get to the temperatures here in just a second. Let's run this through to the end because I do want to get to the temperatures for you because they're actually much more entertaining for you. Okay. Clouds, rain, still going up over the ridging. Oop, I forgot to pause it there at the end. Let me show you this last frame. This is 18Z on Thursday, which would be -4 is 14. All right, Zulu time, again, is Greenwich Mean. This time of year, daylight saving, you're going to subtract 4 hours. It's going to give you your local time in military 24-hour time. So 14, which would be 2 p.m. on Thursday. The ridging is still here. We are still seeing warm air. We are watching the rain now starting to encroach on us because the way this is moving, let me back this up a couple. Watch the way that rain is moving as I just kind of rock this back and forth. This is likely to end up over us eventually, but we're talking Thursday night maybe into early Friday. Aside from that, a sprinkle or two would be about all that's going to be able to form up under the high pressure. But the better news, temperatures. Let's run this through. This is going to start from earliest morning Monday. All right, I'm going to take you into Monday afternoon. We're going to go to about 22, 23 Z. There we go. Not too bad. Yeah, it starts to cool down. There we go. 21Z. And I'm not saying it's 100% going to beat the number, but I do want to point out that it is showing 63 degrees around the Pittsburgh area here, 63 degrees. You make your way down into West Virginia. A little bit cooler as you make your way to the north, but good numbers nonetheless. I'm going to go 63 to 65. That seems to be fairly good for us over the next, well, at least on this Monday. All right, let's move ahead. We're going to make see cool temperatures overnight as the sun goes down. There it goes. It cools off into early Tuesday. Start off at 8 a.m. right around 50 degrees, upper 40s, 50 degrees. Afternoon highs, let's go to like 21, 22 again. There we go, 21Z. Subtract 4, 17, that's 5 o'clock. In the evening on Tuesday, look at the 70s, yeah, 73, 72, 73. So low 70s to maybe even squeaking into the mid 70s, a good bet there. And we'll finish this off. A pleasantly mild morning on Wednesday, only in the low to mid 50s around on early Wednesday, and then watch your afternoon highs. Boom. Looking good. That's 18Z. That's not even to your highs yet, but you can see at 2 o'clock, we're already at 76. If we're going to hit 80 degrees, Wednesday is most likely your day. Upper 70s easily, if not a chance at a low 80 degree mark there with we'll call it partly cloudy, maybe even increase in clouds as that high moves out. And I showed you the rain kind of creeping in there on the Wednesday. All right, so that's pretty much it for now. I just wanted to give you that good news. We've got great weather on the way here. I will just kind of bring this up because I like showing this. Repetition helps you see this more often and you'll understand it better. Again, cloud cover, you can see that's what CLD is. Cloud cover, clear Monday, clear Tuesday, clear first half of Wednesday, some clouds intruding Wednesday afternoon. Look at that. Like I said, if you're going to hit 80, it'd be on Wednesday. We're closing in on it. But then it becomes overcast and chances for rain. That's what the P is. Potential for precipitation in the previous 12 hours. So 59, 65, 79% chance on Thursday, 88% chance on Friday. But notice what doesn't happen is your temperatures don't really drop. Still hanging in the upper 70s. That's good. So like I mentioned earlier, even though we have clouds, chances for some showers, temperatures don't take a hit, and we stay at least in the mid to low 70s all the way through the upcoming weekend. Sure, some clouds, chance for some sprinkles or a quick shower or two, but you don't have to worry about getting cold again. That I can live with. All right, that's it for now, everybody. Let me pull myself back up here real quick and just want to expand myself and talk to you a little bit. Hey, I'm glad some of you are watching. Share this with your friends again. I'm having fun doing these. Hopefully you're enjoying them. Spread the news because this is good stuff. I'm doing a good job. I think they're entertaining. Hopefully you're enjoying it. Drop me a comment down there. Let me know again. I do take requests for forecasts. I've done a couple of them already. If you're taking a trip, I know vacations are coming up soon. Memorial Day is coming up. I'll be hanging out in Washington, D.C. With my speech and debate team over Memorial Day weekend. So I'll be talking about that weather, of course, as we close in May. And then, of course, summer vacations begin in earnest. So we've got lots to talk about and to have fun with, okay? All right, that's it for your Monday. Enjoy these next few days of warm and sunny weather. I like it. And I'll check in with you again later on this week. Until then, thank you for joining me. Meteorologist Rob Wilson here on Let's Talk Weather. And catch you next time.